Welcome to Careers Unwrapped Masterclass, bite-sized episodes focused on skills to help you excel in your career. Masterclass will cover a new topic every episode, where we'll speak to career experts who will share their tips, tricks, and raw actionable advice. As someone who has had a varied career, from soldier to salesman, expedition leader to entrepreneur, he knows firsthand that your career doesn't always lead you where you expect it to. Here's your host, Mark Fawcett.
Hello, and welcome to another Careers Unwrapped Masterclass episode. Now, masterclasses focus on very specific topics designed to give you the skills you need to excel in your career. I'm your host, Mark Fawcett, and today's masterclass is career marketing. So I'm really excited to be joined by Tom Powner. He's Chief Executive of CareerThinker. He is a professional in all things to do with recruitment and career advancement, whether that's writing resumes or CVs, depending on which side of the Atlantic you are. He's worked in recruitment and HR for many years, and he uses his expertise to guide job seekers into really presenting the best version of themselves, whether that's on CVs, resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn profiles, or anything else. And he's here today to hopefully share his extensive experience, his knowledge, and also importantly, to provide us with some actionable tips and tricks on how to better understand marketing ourselves to advance in our career. So, Tom, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to have this conversation with you.
So I think the first thing, let's just look at a definition. Career marketing, what is it and why is it such an important tool in anyone's future?
Well, it's been called a job search for as long as I can remember. But we have to kind of shift the way we look at it, shift our thinking. Because in today's marketplace, when we look at all the collateral we have to help us get in front of the hiring manager to start that conversation so we get hired, we have to, when we think of it as a career marketing campaign, and we think of what any marketing campaign needs to do is to sell the value of a product or service. So in your job search, you are the product, your skills, your history, your success stories, your passions, all that encapsulates your brand. And you need to market that, because when you market your value over function, you become more valuable to companies. So when we shift the way we think about it, we kind of act differently. And everything on the resume, those documents and this collateral should be very strategic about selling who you are.
I like that phrase, value over function. And so you must see a lot of what individuals are doing when they are trying to promote or sell themselves. What do you think makes the difference between good and brilliant? So what really stands out?
Well, yeah, at different stages of the career, we have different stories to tell. But when I look at a resume, LinkedIn profile, and I can really see what someone has done over what they are doing, which is very different. When I see that value, I see those, I call it on a resume, LinkedIn, those reverse car stories. There's challenges, action, the results. When I see the results followed by the action, as a recruiter, I'm energized to read the bullet point because I'm seeing something of value. Most resumes in my recruiting side of my business, and even in my career service side, when I get those resumes, most resumes sound like a job posting thrown back at me. And that's not marketing yourself. That's just like taking a job posting and putting it on paper. And that's not what we want to see. So when we see a resume or CV that's really showcasing the value, we're super excited to read that document.
Yeah, I see a lot of CVs coming into my business as well, and some of them stand out immediately. And I guess either consciously or subconsciously, those are the ones that are perhaps doing the marketing job better. And perhaps let's jump then into things that people can actually do. So if you were speaking now to somebody starting out on their career, what are 3 tips that they could actually act upon now to improve their own career marketing?
Well, look, everyone has value. I know a lot of people don't think they have value. And sometimes when you start your career out, you don't have it. They're your first main job. Even when you have internships or summer jobs, those are very valuable, especially on a young person's resume or CV. And sometimes, even when you have an internship, sometimes you can't make big impact. But what I like to see and what we do with our younger resumes and CVs, when we talk about an internship, we talk about what you have a description of what the internship was about. If you have any success stories, share them. If you don't, tell me what your takeaways were. improve my collaboration skill by being on a team of 15 other camp supervisors. You had a summer job, improve my customer service skills by waiting on 50 tables an evening. Tell me what were your takeaways? Tell me what you improved. Tell me what you learned from the internship. And even those capstone projects in college, sometimes we don't have this big impact. So we always have value. And when we're starting out our careers, sharing those core competencies is what we want to see in young people. Because unfortunately, in the US, the biggest preparation for work was McDonald's, because everyone worked at McDonald's, or it's something like McDonald's when they're young, but they've learned a lot of those core skills. So that's one thing you definitely do.
So that's the first one there, around value and communicating that. What's the second piece of advice? What else could I do as a career starter?
Well, if you know where you're going, and sometimes this is the ageless challenge. Sometimes at any age, we don't know what we want to be when we grow up. But when you do know what you want to be at your next core, start looking at the job posting. Do some research, understand the skills that type of role and that type of industry. Because what we learn in college and high school and stuff, sometimes that really prepares for the real world, especially in today's marketplace. How quickly technology skills change over any other type of skill is just phenomenal. And you're going to learn something 4 years ago in college that's not being used now in the marketplace. So understand the skills. And lots of times you can earn those skills, even sometimes online or taking a certification course. So understand what technologies is needed in your next career move. And always look forward. Especially now in your whole career, always keep ahead of what skills are current and needed and trendy.
Yeah, and the speed of change clearly about technology for so many sectors. So in particular, understanding, even if you don't understand AI deeply, understand what the industry you're targeting is saying about AI and whether commentators are saying it's likely to make an impact will just give you even more value. So, okay, so yeah.
I started CareerThinker, in 2010, 2011, that was during the last recession. 95% of my clients were unemployed. They lost their jobs. And I would say probably 85% of them was totally unskilled for the current job market. So, and these were more senior people, but yet they were all unskilled because technology had just passed them by.
And so those first 2 points about value and about understanding the industry, what's a third area I can focus on for my own career marketing?
Well, so many, trying to pick them out of my head. I guess it's just being open to look beyond what your immediate goal would be. Sometimes we have to realize we're expected to know what we want to do for our career the rest of our life at 18. And sometimes we might choose to focus. And I'm guilty of that when I was young. I'm doing something totally different. So we have to be open to change and experiment and trying different things, because I've coached a lot of people in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and they got stuck in that career, and they've been unhappy for many, many years. So if you don't like what you're doing and you're unhappy and starting your career out, you say, this is just not what I want. Give yourself permission to see what else is out there.
Yeah, explore, definitely. Underpinning all of this, you have people who come to you because they're looking to build success in their career. They may be, as you just said, unemployed. They may be looking for a change. They may just be feeling they're not really getting anywhere. But success in a career means different things to different people. It's not just the money you own, and it's not just the promotions you get. And I noticed on your own LinkedIn page, you've got a note down there about empowering people to reach career happiness. So how can people work out what success in a career means for them individually?
Well, that's good. That's a good question. A lot of it is really soul searching, and also understand that changes every decade of our life. They could change. When I was younger, it was about being a CEO. I wanted to be a CEO of a company. I am now. I took a different route there, but I had the focus of being CEO of a major company. So sometimes just understanding what your goal is, and what your passion is. Do you want to help people? That's more important. Do you want to make that money so you could drive that BMW and that Mercedes? Do you want that prestige of a job title? And I think a lot of us, when we're young and bright-eyed, sometimes we have a wrong impression of what career happiness means. So speak it out with your spouse, speak it out with friends, get a really understanding of what really is going to matter to you. And again, understand that will change sometime. I call it the decade of our life. That could change every decade. It definitely has for me. And when I was younger, it was the money, it was the paycheck, it was what I was making. And that shifted quite a few times in my own career.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. My own perception of what I wanted when I left university was probably, I don't really know, a bit lost actually. And I ended up joining the army for a period of time, which was a bit unexpected. And when I left that, I worked with young people running expeditions. I now run my current business, and I had a tech startup in between the two. So what I did change a lot, but also the values of what was important to me and what career success was defined as changed a lot as well. We do know from our own research that a lot of younger career starters, that the money's very important to begin with, because they're moving away from home. They're getting their own, their first property. They got to be able to pay for the things that adult life needs. But as long as you're not struggling for money, and, there's a base level for everybody, what you want out of a career then develops into all sort of directions you might not have found important when you were 18, 21, 25, something like that.
And for me, when I look at my career path, and again, a career that not a straight trajectory upwards. I mean, there's a lot of peaks and valleys. I learned one common thing is I do love teaching. I don't want to be a teacher in a public school system, but I do love teaching people. And that's been a common thread through every position, every company I worked for. So that's what brings me happiness, is be able to teach and share and help people and tools their own focus on things.
Yeah. I think there are so many things, even in this really short conversation, this short masterclass right now, Tom, that I've taken out of this. I think very importantly for yourself, for everybody focusing on their value, not just their function, not just what they've done, but what that has achieved, whether that's for themselves or for the organization they're working with. And your 3 tips within there around, first of all, about value, the skills you've gained, what you have improved, even if it's through work experience or internships, then understanding the industry, the skills, the tech that's going on in there. And then lastly, about just looking beyond perhaps your current potentially narrow viewpoints at the beginning. And I would link it all back to some of the key principles of marketing. Know your product, yourself, the value that can give, and know your market. Who are these people and what are their motivations, and how can I connect the two together? I think if you, as you said right at the beginning, if you approach this a little less as a job search and a bit more as a marketing campaign, then it's just going to promote smarter thinking in an individual about how to get themselves in front of the right people and how to get their attention in the right way.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly. Yes, it's exactly what we want to do. And again, when you market yourself, and again, even the word job search, that sounds daunting. Got to search for that one job. Even that sounds, very hard to do. So we have that marketing campaign hat on. We're going to just take a whole different approach how we target things.
Right. Tom, thank you so much for joining us. Chief Executive at CareerThinker, a huge amount of experience and obviously work you do in this area right now. And thank you for, in this short masterclass, sharing it with our listeners. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks. Thank you.
This podcast is sponsored by We Are Futures. To find out more about We Are Futures and how we can introduce your brand, business, or organization to the mass markets of tomorrow, visit www.wearefutures.com. Make sure to search for Careers Unwrapped in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Remember to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. On behalf of the team here at We Are Futures, thanks for listening.